This stretch is referred to as the kneeling double leg toe and plantar fascia stretch, and as its name suggests, it's going to work and stretch out the plantar fascia on the underside of your foot, okay, as well as the musculature that's involved in flexing those toes. It's a really easy stretch. We're going to do it side on for you to see. Okay, so my knees here are about shoulders width apart. I'm going to raise up so that my toes can tuck under. Once I've done so, I'm going to lean back then with my weight through my bottom evenly distributed on the right and left foot. Once there, I'm going to hold a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and I can feel that nice stretch through the bottom of my right and left foot. You're going to repeat that for at least 5 deep breaths or more, depending on how tight you feel through the bottom of your foot and the toe flexors. And that there is the kneeling double leg toe and plantar stretch. Give it a go. This is the foot behind shin stretch, which is going to target tibialis anterior as well as other foot flexors, including flexor hallucis longus, flexor digitorum longus, and peroneus tertius. To do it, I'm going to start standing. My head will come out of shots. Focus on the shins here, particularly the right, which is the side I'm going to stretch. So starting shoulders width apart, the leg I'm going to stretch, I'm going to bring behind. Okay, I'm going to place my foot, my toes pointed, and I'm going to put pressure through, pushing my ankle down towards the ground. Bend the opposite leg to go down, okay, back straight, and there I can start feeling the stretch through the front of my shin there. I'm going to hold it, deep breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And you'll hold that stretch for at least 5 deep breaths or more, depending on how tight you are. And that there is the foot behind shin stretch. Give it a go. This is the standing split leg lower calf stretch. It's going to focus on the fibers of soleus as well as the Achilles tendon tapering into the calcaneus. You're also going to feel secondarily to that stretch through the musculature involved in plantar flexion of the foot. To do it, we're going to start standing. Okay, feet shoulders width apart. Step back with the leg you're going to stretch. Bend at the knee, okay, and just lower yourself back in towards the heel. Okay, once you feel that stretch through the calcaneus and the Achilles tendon tapering from it up towards soleus, hold it, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you'll hold that for at least 5 deep breaths. Obviously, hold it for more if you're feeling particularly tight. And that there is the standing split leg lower calf stretch. This is the single leg toe pointed hamstring stretch. It's going to target any tension that you might be feeling through the hamstrings as well as secondarily gastrocnemius, okay? To do it, you're going to start the standing position, you're going to start to bend at the hips. You're going to see my head pop out of shot here. So focus on the legs here. I'm going to split the legs, step forward, pointing the toes straight out there. Now I'm going to lean down, keep my back straight, gently down, okay, until I feel a stretch through the hamstrings, which is coming on there. I'm just going to hold, breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Now I'm going to hold that stretch for approximately 5 deep breaths, okay, or more, depending on how tight you feel, okay. That there is the single leg toe pointed hamstring stretch. This is the lying quad stretch, okay. We're going to target the musculature of the quads, including vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, and vastus lateralis, as well as rectus femoris, okay. Now to do it, you're going to start in a lying position, very much like this. We're going to work left hand side here, okay. Once down, you're going to bring your heel up towards your bottom, grabbing it. In this case, my left hand's taking my left ankle. I'm going to bring my heel in towards my glutes, pulling back and up so that my knee, my left knee is coming off the ground, okay? Once there, I'll feel a nice stretch through the quads, and I'm going to hold, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now you're going to hold that for at least 5 deep breaths or longer, depending on how tight you feel through that musculature. So that's the lying quad stretch. Enjoy it. This is the kneeling leg out adductor stretch, which is going to target the adductors longus, brevis, magnus, as well as pectineus and gracilis. To do it, you're going to come down into a kneeling position. Here, kneeling on my right leg. I'm going to put my left leg out with the toes forward, okay, and I'm going to have my hands in a forward position. Here, I'm going to reach down out further my leg, extend it out until I feel that stretch on through the left. And I'm feeling that now through the adductors there. So I'm going to hold in position, okay, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And that stretch you'll hold for at least 5 deep breaths. You could hold it for more, of course, depending on how tight you are through the adductors. That there is the kneeling leg out adductor stretch. That's a fun one. This is the standing leg back abductor stretch. It's going to target tensor fascia latae as well as gluteus minimus, gluteus medius, okay, and sartorius. To do this, you're going to stand. The leg, I'm going to work to my left hand side here, so I'm going to put my left leg behind the right, hence leg back. I'm going to push my hip out towards the left here to deepen that stretch. That's going to stretch out the fibres on this left hand side, and to increase that stretch you can add further stretch by reaching up and leaning over. Once in position, hold, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hold for at least 5 deep breaths or more, depending on how tight you are in the abductors, okay? And that there was the standing leg back abductor stretch. Give that a go. This is the lying crossover knee pull-up stretch, and it's going to target tension in gluteus maximus as well as fibres of the hamstrings, including semitendinosus, semimembranosus and biceps femoris. Now, to do this stretch, all you're going to do is you're going to lay back. You're going to have your one leg straight, in this case my left. I'm going to work the fibres on the right. I'm going to lift my right foot across. I'm going to hook just behind the right knee there with my left hand. My right arm's going to be out straight. I'm going to look towards my palm. I'm going to pull up with my left hand my knee towards the left hand side and up towards the chest. This is going to increase tension across the gluteus maximus there, stretching out the fibres of the muscle as well as fibres of the hamstrings, okay? You're going to hold that for about 5 deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And that is the lying crossover knee pull-up stretch. Have fun with that one. This is the kneeling quad stretch or the kneeling runner's lunge, and it's going to target the musculature that we often refer to as the hip flexors. So you've got the psoas, iliacus on the inside of the hip, and rectus femoris there connecting the hip to the knee. You're also going to stretch out some of the fibres of the quads in this one. Okay, to start, we're going to go down as if we're going to be starting a race, okay, in a lunge position. Here I'm going to have my right leg back because that's the side I want to work. Now, once in position, I'm going to come up, raise up. I can use my knee for my left hand leg for support. Tuck the tailbone under, and then you're going to feel an increased stretch through the hip flexors there. Then you're going to remain in that position, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you'll hold there for about 5 deep breaths at least, okay? Or more, depending on how tight you are through the hip flexors. That is the kneeling quad stretch or the kneeling runner's lunge. Stretch for you here, okay? This is the rotating stomach stretch or the striking cobra with a twist. You can start with your palms underneath the shoulders, okay? Elbows in. Gently rise up, pushing up to extend that front abdominal wall, looking up towards the sky, okay? Then from here, make sure your tailbone's tucked under with a posterior tilt on the hips. Okay, lower the shoulder blade. You're going to bend, in this case, the left arm. Keep your right arm straight, looking over the left shoulder. I'm going to hold. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to feel a nice stretch through the obliques, through transverse abdominis, and the lateral side of the abdominal wall here. As well, I'm going to catch fibres of the QL or quadratus lumborum, psoas major, minor, and the iliacus, okay? Remember, that's the rotating stomach stretch or the striking cobra with a twist.